past several years, I would say because of the new EU GDP in 2013 that induced a lot of changes in both the technology that is available and also changes in people's attitude or philosophy towards temperature management. And as a result, a lot of new ways of doing things, both methodology and also actual tools have improved significantly.
Good question. I would say regulatory compliance. You know, it's not just moving a product from A to B, but making sure that your product is within its required temperature. You know, especially with the vaccines business that I'm in, if I send a product to an undeveloped country and the product didn't maintain its temperature, then it's not effective. It's not a safe quality or effective product.
Firstly, I think we have to look at it from the regulations perspective. The regulations are getting tighter as things tend to happen. So for example, now there's a lot of focus on 2 to 8 shipping, which is quite a tight range of temperature to ship within. Of course, there's always the pressure for new innovation and for cost reduction. And keeping these things balanced is something that everybody has to be involved with, and is becoming a bigger part of everything that we do when it comes to cold chain.
I believe that companies like Amazon, Google, Apple will take on the pharma industry, including the supply chain, probably led by Amazon. And these are technology companies that are driven by exceptional processes and new technological approaches, using sensors, using blockchain, using analytics, the way Amazon, Facebook, Google are using. And I do believe that the pharmaceutical industry needs to change and needs to be prepared for this new wave of technological advances that are ready to come on the market in the next few years.
So the biggest disruptive technology for me would be, I think, the 3D printing era that's coming at us right now will be quite hard on the supply chain and our manufacturing, because just imagine if we start 3D printing at home some of the medicines, what that will do with our packaging and our manufacturing assets that we'll have in our supply chain today will completely change our entire setup from end to end.
Yeah, that's an interesting subject that has been going on for several years, and my own bias is that I think we need to have more communication among the pharmaceutical industry, the users of the service basically, and also between among the user companies and the supplier companies and even the service provider companies, so that we can create more like a comprehensive, holistic kind of communication among all the players. I think that if we can find ways of doing that, the whole cold chain or temperature management system across the globe will be in much better shape.
I think forums like these are exceptional for that, because you kind of need to meet face to face to continue to do that and move forward, and continuing supporting conferences like this would be my best recommendation.
The challenge here, of course, is that we want to be all able to collaborate but not sacrifice our intellectual property. I think one of the things that the industry should look into is the wisdom of the crowds idea, where you use diversity of thought to create innovation and to spread that innovation. This has been done in other industries, and I think it could serve the cold chain industry very, very well.
Well, patient safety is not a competitive advantage, and I believe that we need to get together, make sure that all our products get to our patients with the right quality and efficacy, and we need to compete on research, on clinical advances, and logistics is really an area where we need to get together, share data, and make sure that we look for ways to improve delivery from a cost perspective, from a quality perspective, as well as the security aspect of it.
Why is it so important? Innovation. Without innovation, I wouldn't be here, you wouldn't be here, and supply chain wouldn't be where it's at today. Innovation is necessary in order for a company to sustain and then have a good business.
Well, there are several reasons, I think. One is kind of obvious, that is, this is probably the only comprehensive conference that focus on cold chain and cold chain logistics together. And the other factor is probably is the biggest one and has a reputation in the past, and as a result, most of the people who are relevant in this kind of effort will actually come, and that naturally draw everybody to this conference so that we can communicate with each other and learn new things and exchange ideas.
First of all, the fact that it's a global forum is very important. This gives us an opportunity to talk to a lot of different people. If you think about cold chain, there are many different players involved. There's people like myself who are the shippers, there's the vendors, component manufacturers, carriers, consultants, and so on. Very often you only get to meet these people one at a time or two at a time max. But at this forum we can meet them all at the same time and talk to them all in a very short period of time. And that's extremely important. The other thing is, like any other industry, we don't want to become so myopic as that we're always talking and doing the same kind of stuff. This gives us a chance to actually look outside our own environment and look for some good ideas.
Because it connects innovators and companies that bring in best practices with manufacturers looking for ways to improve value to their customers.
For me, the Global Forum is super important for the industry because you have a great platform, a forum to actually share and understand some of the latest trends that are going on. In reality, we are all competitors, but I think within supply chain, it's also a way of helping each other move the needle further and further to become even better within our supply chains.